Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. On this channel we'll be discussing about Barcelona, big teams, Liverpool, Manchester City, PSG, Man United, all the big teams. But if not, I am a Barcelona fan from the base. We had the departure of Lionel Messi. We had the Koeman, who was sacked. We had a new president, Juan Laporta, and today we have a very big news, a great announcement to make. Few minutes ago, Xavi Hernandez, our former Barcelona captain, was appointed Barcelona coach. That is the interim coach, which is there presently the Barcelona big coach, will coach the team for the upcoming match tomorrow against Celta Vigo. But I think after the international break, we will have Xavi Hernandez who will take up the position of Barcelona first team coach. So today we are going to make a great analysis about uh, about what Xavi can bring to the squad, how he can transform the Barcelona team, how he can bring up the young players and form a great team, a competitive team, how he can bring back Barcelona to a top level in Europe. So we are going to start with the first point. Xavi Hernandez knows the house. He is a former Barcelona player, a former Barcelona captain. He won everything with the squad. He knows La Masia. He grew up in La Masia. He left from La Masia to the first team. He won everything with Barcelona. He won everything with the Spain national team. So Xavi Hernandez is a great leader. He has a good leadership. He knows the tiki-taka football. He knows how the philosophy of the club. He knows he has won everything. He knows the top level. So he can bring the team to a wonderful he can bring the team back to a wonderful status in Europe. And he had a great coach. He had a great coach, Pep Guardiola. All of us we know Pep Guardiola, the Manchester City coach at presently. So Xavi Hernandez, he has a great leadership. That's the first point. He has a great leadership. He knows the house. He knows La Masia. He knows the style of football Barcelona need to play. Now, can he, because he's somebody who has a great intellectual now, can he has good ideas, like he knows how to make the team play good football now. Can he bring back the club to play the football, that the philosophy that he wants? Can he transmit, can the players actually listen to his message and actually act like he wants? So now this is a great question, because we know that Xavi Hernandez is capable of doing it, because all those young players, they have seen Xavi plays. For example, if somebody like Ronald Koeman, he's a Barcelona legend just like Xavi Hernandez, but most of the young players in the squad did not see Koeman play with the Barcelona shirt. Contrary to Xavi Hernandez, most of them, when they were young, they were a fan of the Barcelona team. Xavi Hernandez was in that Barcelona team who won everything in 2011, 2012. They saw Xavi Hernandez play. He was a great midfielder. He usually plays going forward. He was not just making simple controls and making simple passes. Xavi Hernandez is somebody who, if he enters into the dressing room and he talks to a young player who saw him play with the Barcelona shirt, I don't see why the youngster will not listen to what Xavi Hernandez wants to say. And Xavi Hernandez is a coach that he can inspire the young players. He can put them in confidence, as in telling a young player, for example, like Ricky Puig, that under me you have minutes, you have time to play, but I need you to do this, take more responsibility, put much effort and things like that. So the third point is Xavi Hernandez is backed up by Joan Laporta. We remember very well that even before the elections, even before Joan Laporta was elected, he mostly talked about Xavi Hernandez for his campaign. So we know that Xavi Hernandez has the total confidence of the president. He has the total confidence of the club. Fans are waiting for him. Fans are seeing him like the Messiah who will come and change the situation, who will come and do everything to bring back the club so that the club can play the philosophy that they know, the Johan Cruyff philosophy, so that the club can become competitive again. But there are also shortcomings. The shortcomings are we our medical squad right now, we have so much injuries. We have so much injuries. The club doesn't have enough financial. For example, if Xavi Hernandez wants to bring in a player like Raheem Sterling, I don't think the club has enough money to buy a player like Raheem Sterling or like Riyad Mahrez, for example, Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, just to take some examples. So right now, Xavi Hernandez, he needs time. Xavi Hernandez needs time. He needs patience for him to gradually take back the team to where we belong. So if we take a bit of patience and we are a bit realistic, we have to be patient with Xavi Hernandez, very patient, because he needs time. Because there are many injuries in the squad right now. There are many uh, players that are not supposed to play for Barcelona that in the squad right now. Players like Luke De Jong, Samuel Umtiti, Martin Braithwaite. These are players that were brought in by previous coaches and they were given contracts to stay for long in the club. Meanwhile, they don't have the level to be in Barcelona. So I think that Xavi Hernandez needs time for the club to terminate, or for the contracts of those players or unwanted players to terminate, so that he can build a squad of which with the players that he needs and he wants. We need to be patient with Xavi Hernandez. Yes, he was a great player, he's a great coach, he does very nice things with Al Saad. He did very nice things with Al Saad, the club that he has uh, in the Qatar, in the with the Qatar in Qatar. He did very great things, because even when we used to see some sequences or even matches of the team that he was coaching there in Qatar, how they were playing, we usually felt like it was a young team of Ajax, or even a Barcelona team, or a young Barcelona team squad that is playing football, because they were really playing good football. It was beautiful to see. We used to see some sequences of tiki taka passes, possession, great passes going forward, and he won so many titles with Al Sadd. So today, I think that as the team is young, Xavi Hernandez has all the keys. If he is given all the power and the authority to manage his squad, I think that Xavi Hernandez can raise the level of all the players in the squad. Players like Frankie De Jong, Pedri, Nico Gonzalez. He can bring Alejandro Balde. He can give them all the confidence for them to play the football that he wants. Because if when Xavi Hernandez was a player, those young, they saw him play, and I think that they will be very open to learn from Xavi Hernandez. Also, Xavi Hernandez can bring back players like Collado into the first team. This is a left winger who can listen to the instruction from a coach who is also from La Masia like him. Players who are like Ansu Fati, who are from La Masia, because presently Barcelona lack an offensive animation, as in most often recently we have been seeing players like Memphis Depay and Sofati. They want to create opportunities on their own. Barcelona right now, they don't have offensive animation. So Xavi Hernandez playing with a trio of Ousmane Dembele, Collado, and Ansu Fati. These are very young and talented players, or even a trio of Ansu Fati, Memphis Depay, and Collado. Collado is a player who can be brought back to the team by Xavi Hernandez, because that is a player who plays as a right winger since he debuted in La Masia, or even as a false nine, as a number 10. Those are players that are from La Masia. And Fati can play as a number 9, as a left winger. Those are players from La Masia. Ricky Puig, Nico Gonzalez, Gavi, even Ronald Araujo. These are players from La Masia. Oscar Mingueza, Alejandro Balde. All those players can be very open to Xavi Hernandez. They are ready to listen. They are ready to learn from a player who was their idol when they were still young, as a Barcelona player, and now that he is their coach, I see the team succeeding under Xavi Hernandez, because these children will be very open, these youngsters, they will be very open to listen from their idol as a coach now. Now comes the last point of this video will be that there is a last questioning. People ask themselves, will Xavi Hernandez be able to manage the squad given that his former teammates are there? That's a very big question that people ask themselves. Now, that is a good question, but I think that Xavi Hernandez, he will be able to manage this squad with Piqué, Sergio Busquets, Sergio Roberto, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and Jordi Alba. I think that Xavi Hernandez will be apt to coach his former teammates, because even Xavi Hernandez, he played with Pep Guardiola. It is true that he was too young. He was still young when Pep Guardiola was playing, but he played in the same squad like Pep Guardiola. That did not prevent Pep from coaching Xavi Hernandez, and Xavi Hernandez was very open to listen to his coach Pep Guardiola, who was his former teammate. So I don't see why players like Sergio Busquets and Piqué, who are not that, they are not really close friends to Xavi Hernandez. If they were players maybe like Messi, Iniesta, then I would have understood that yes, it can be complicated for Xavi to bench them if they are not at the level. But players like Piqué, Busquets, Jordi Alba, they were young. Yes, when Xavi Hernandez was captain, they were still young. I remember in 2014, 2015, Piqué, Busquets and Alba, they were still young. For example, right now I think Xavi Hernandez is 38 years old. Piqué and Busquets, they are just 33. So Xavi Hernandez is, first of all, he has a great leadership. Even when he was captain, he used to manage the team. He used to talk to the squad. So how talk about less of now that he is a coach. I think that even them, they will be very open to listen to Xavi, because a player like Piqué, he loves the club. He loves the club. He had a salary cut. He said after the 8-2 with Bayern Munich that he will be ready. If he's asked to leave, he will be the first person to leave. He will not complicate things. So Piqué is somebody who wants to help the club. So if Xavi is also there to help the club, I don't see why he won't be open to listen to what Xavi Hernandez has to say. Now, will Xavi Hernandez be able to bench them when they are not at the level? I think yes. I think yes, because Xavi Hernandez, he has an idea. Coming to Barcelona, he has an idea. He knows what he wants to do. So if a player is not up to the task that Xavi Hernandez wants him to perform in the field with the great leadership that Xavi Hernandez has, I think Xavi Hernandez will be very, he won't show emotions of nostalgic that no, this is my former teammate and all the right. I think that Xavi is there to help the club, not to help his friends. So firstly, they are not very close friends like he is with Iniesta and with Puyol, Messi. And secondly, he was the captain. Even when he was still their teammate, he was the captain and he was speaking to them, and everybody was very open to listen. So as Xavi Hernandez as coach, his former teammates, they will listen. They must listen, because now Xavi is the coach, and if they are not ready to cooperate with, to help the team come back to a very high level in Europe, very competitive team, I think Xavi Hernandez will not hesitate to bench them or even ask them to leave the club for him to work properly. So this marks the end of this video. This is a very great news for all the Barcelona fans. I think that we are very happy, but we need to be patient. We need to be very patient, because Xavi Hernandez was a great man. Xavi Hernandez was a great player. He's a great man. He has leadership, yes, but him coming back does not necessarily guarantee immediate results. We should be very patient. We should be open. We should not criticize as early as he makes the. He will make mistakes. For sure, he will make mistakes, but people should also remember that a player like Frank Lampard, who is now a coach and who was sacked as Chelsea manager last season, he was also, as when he was coming back to Chelsea, he also came as a messiah. He was also somebody that the youngsters saw play with the Chelsea jersey. So he also came like Xavi Hernandez is coming to Barcelona right now, but he was a total. He did not do very great things. Yes, he used to manage on his first season, but the second season was not that good. He was very criticized and he was sacked despite being a Chelsea legend. So we have to be very patient with Xavi Hernandez. We shouldn't expect immediate change, because this Barcelona team right now, the squad is not up to task. Yes, we have very great players. We need a very good coach who put the players in confidence for them to express themselves and play a wonderful football. But till now, we have so many players that are injured. We have so many players that don't want to leave the club, whereas they don't have the level to play for the club, but they don't want to leave. So we need to give Xavi Hernandez at least till the end of this season to see at least where he wants to take the club to, and we should be very patient. He will make mistakes, he will lose matches, he will win, but we need to be very patient with him because he's a player that we love. We are happy to see him back at the club as manager. We wanted him to be back, and now he's back. We want to thank Joan Laporta for that great work, and now we will be waiting to see what the team will become after the international break. So thank you very much for your keen attention and for listening to this video. May God bless us all, and like and subscribe for more content on this channel.